All right, fantastic. I think we got everything covered. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Batavia Rotary. Ed, would you mind leading us off with a prayer this morning, please?
Lord, thank you for this day and for this opportunity to meet as Rotarians. Please be with us in our mission, serve our community, serve our fellow brothers and sisters. Please be with those who are here present, those who are here with us virtually. Please be with us throughout this day. Guide us, direct us, and lead us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Ready for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can be seated. Brandon, can we change the view on that so we can see everyone? Do you mind? Thank you. All right, good morning. Welcome back to Tuesdays in Batavia for Batavia Rotary. Happy everyone can join us online and in person. We'd like to introduce some of our guests. I think everyone on the computer are regulars, but we would love to welcome Joy. Joy, welcome. Thank you for being here. She's going to be joining us in a few minutes and coming up and presenting from the Clermont Chamber. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Of course. Well, it's good to see everybody. We had an awesome meeting last time. It was great to have the students back for Student of the Month. Haley Stegman and Sarah Erickson were very impressive first start to the year. So excited to have that back. We were excited to see Carol as well. So we are going to continue doing breakfast for the Student of the Month for November and December. And then the goal is, unless anything changes, is starting in 2021, Carol's going to be here every meeting. So that's kind of the plan going forward, assuming everything kind of stays the same. Mary Jane, welcome back. How was your trip?
Hurricanes, it was great.
So do you stay in the same place every year and know all the servers and everything like that?
Yes, and several people from all over the United States. Yeah.
That's awesome. And how many years in a row have you been going?
1995.
Wow. Awesome. Well, we're glad you're back and safe. And
it was wonderful. It was, honestly.
That's good. How long were you in the shelter?
Only 24 hours this time.
Oh, not bad.
Gamma was only a category 1. Delta was a category 4, but dropped to a 2 before it hit Cancun, so it was like a thunderstorm.
Gotcha.
We went through category 5 in 2005, so
wow.
We were gone for 6 days in the shelter, so 24 hours was enough.
Well, we're happy you're back and safe. So
what do you think it'll be before they have a hurricane, Mary Jane?
All right. So a couple of announcements right off the bat. We have World Polio Day coming up on October 24th. So that's this Saturday. We do have an event to help raise funds. So we've been challenged to raise $1,500 for the World Polio Foundation, which is going to be getting matched. So Greg asked every club to raise $1,500. And then the Gates Foundation is matching those funds 2-to-1. And if all the clubs in the district, I think the total came out to be 77,000 or something like that. So if every district was able to raise $1,500. So we're looking forward to that. In order to help us get to that goal, we have a couple, I think, exciting kind of opportunities coming up. So Nicole was able to get us, and Nicole, I might let you give details on this, but we do have a fundraiser this Friday at City Barbecue, October 23rd. And then Nicole, can you give a brief kind of update on what the details are on that?
Yes, so we have been included, or I guess I'm inviting you to City Barbecue. Come on over to City Barbecue in Eastgate on Friday, anytime after they open, and give them, so what I'm going to do is attach to our minutes today, our flyer, It is also available already on Facebook. All you have to do is show them the flyer. You don't even have to take a actual piece of paper. You can show them on your smartphone the flyer, and I believe the code, you can also give them the code, and it is FUNDA, FUNDA. And you can order online with that same code. You can do a mobile order. You can do that. They've kind of expanded the way that they do their ordering system. You can do any sort of order, and that will be again on Friday, the 23rd. And the only thing that we are asked to do is not distribute flyers to people on premises. So if you have friends and family who want to come, give them the flyer ahead of time, send it to them, share it in an email on Facebook, share it all over the place. We do have to get $500 worth of sales in order to get a minimum $100 donation to our club. We are going to share those donations with the other 2 local clubs who are participating in this with us. So it is all of the clubs on the east side that are going to be participating together, or at least 2 of the 2 clubs. Seth can tell us which clubs those are. You may see some Rotarians from a couple other places, but seriously, just share this out the best you can over the next couple of days, and get as many people as you can to that. And we will make sure that you have all that information in the email this morning.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So, excuse me. Yeah, so this is a great opportunity. We are getting 20% of all the sales. Like Nicole said, it is a minimum of $500 sales to kind of meet that threshold to get a minimum of $100. I have been in touch with Dan Otke and Crystal Laws from Williamsburg and Eastside Rotary, so they're going to be joining us and promoting it through their Facebook page and meetings and group emails and everything. One tip that, and I forget the person's name from City Barbecue, but one tip they shared and one way to really boost our donation or their donation to us and just boost the sales in general is if you are in an office, since we are able to order online now, you can do a group order for the office, let everyone know that, you know, you're getting the getting City Barbecue for lunch on Friday, and then start a group order on their website. They said that has really helped other organizations boost their sales. So I know we're going to be buying lunch at the bank, so consider that. But and that is again this Friday, and it's any time during the day. So whether it's lunch or dinner, it doesn't really matter. So along with helping raise funds for World Polio Day, we have another exciting opportunity. So I'm guessing City Barbecue isn't going to get us all the way to that 1,500. So the board met last couple weeks ago, and we came up with an idea, and Peter is going to talk about this a little bit next meeting for the foundation month. But we have a matching opportunity for giving either towards World Polio Day or the foundation. So I'm excited about this, I think, and Peter will give, like I said, more kind of finite numbers next week or in 2 weeks. But I think there's 11 members that haven't donated to the foundation yet. And the goal is 1,500 for polio. And then when we donate to the foundation, those funds do end up coming back to us in forms of grants. So our contribution to the funds or to the foundation does come back to us directly as a club. So he's going to go over the details because frankly, I don't understand them all. But the matching opportunity is each member is able to, they can donate up to $100. Well, they can donate any amount, but up to $100 of that is going to be matched by the club. Each member that does take advantage of the matching opportunity, they can choose. So if you're passionate about polio, we can donate and put that into the polio bucket. If you would prefer to go to the foundation, you can designate that as well. So as you're making those contributions over the next weeks, months, just let Mary Jane know which bucket you want that to be put into, and then we would be able to kind of mark you down for that. So but each member is going to be eligible to be matched up to $100. And then anything on top of that obviously is welcome as well. Anybody have any questions on that? Did I cover everything that we talked about?
If you make out a check, make it out to Rotary International, or make it out to the foundation, or make it on the bottom that you're gonna give it to polio. Because we no longer run that through our club, that goes directly to
Gotcha.
the foundation for Rotary International, so.
Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, so if you make out a check, make that to Rotary Foundation or Rotary International, Rotary.
No, the Rotary Foundation.
The Rotary Foundation.
The
Thank you.
Rotary Foundation.
All right, thank you. And then in the memo line, you could designate whether it's general fund or polio. So awesome. So I'm excited about that.
And send it to Mary Jane.
Yes, I'll give it to Peter,
Yes.
or you can send it directly, well, give it to me so I can know that you need to match it, and then I'll give it to Peter.
Yeah. So either
I
get
didn't
it to
hear
Mary
her.
Jane here in
We
person.
didn't hear
or-
Mary Jane.
Yeah, get it
Which
to
is
Mary Jane
unusual.
first, either in person or to the PO box, and we'll put that address in the minutes. And then that way we know as a club that we need to match that, and then we can go that route. So yes, to Mary Jane, either in person or through the mail.
And it would be helpful, I think, to specify annual fund or polio. Annual fund is the one where money comes back to us after a period of time. If it's just the general fund, I don't think we can guarantee that it's going into the annual fund, which drives our grants.
Right, and polio contributions are not partially returned, but the annual fund is, and that's what we need to mark if that's what we want to do.
Got it. Perfect. Yeah, and just mark that in the memo line.
And I
All right.
suppose if somebody wanted to, they could probably split 50-50 between annual fund and polio and make different impacts that way, but big impacts. And Peter, would you agree that if somebody wanted to do that, they could put 50-50 annual and polio?
Yes, yes, of course.
I think if you would want to do that, I would recommend making two. Well, I don't know if making two checks would be easy or not. It doesn't matter. Okay. Mary Jane says it doesn't matter. So, all right.
Well, it's more work for the bank that way, Seth.
That is very true. That's very true. All right. Brandon, can I ask you to give a couple updates? So we also talked about a couple weeks ago, Rapping Clermont, discussing how that's going to look going forward. Typically, we've given out movie theater tickets, and I think Brandon had a good idea a couple weeks ago to kind of replace that.
Yeah, so as you know, movie theaters are not exactly thriving right now, so giving away movie passes is probably not the best thing. However, we've got, actually sent Mary Jane an email about this while she was on vacation. We're gonna try to look into, I think, what was it, Fandango? Fandango, because those you can, allegedly, you can go buy movie passes if you choose to, or you can stream. So it gives kind of the best of both worlds. So we're going to try to purchase something like that this year for the teams to go into their baskets, along with some other goodies, that kind of thing like we did last year. I'm not at this time sure whether or not there'll be an opportunity for us to go and assemble baskets like we did last year. So we'll have to see about that. But the district funds, we're talking about funds coming back to us. So every year we apply, Aaron Nicoletti applied this year for us for a grant to purchase these, so a matching grant. So we'll pay some money, and the district grant committee gives us some money to go towards these movie passes. So that's the update.
Awesome. Thank you.
Will somebody at some time let us know what Brandon said?
Yeah, you couldn't hear any of that?
Not really.
All right.
Muffled. It was muffled. It's the audio. It's not Brandon, obviously.
He said, Peter, you're a great guy.
I don't think so, but that's fine.
I'll give a brief update. So in the past, we've always done movie tickets, and the movie theaters aren't necessarily 100% open or not everyone is comfortable doing that. So we're going to replace that with, or look at the option of replacing that with Fandango gift cards, which could be used in person if people prefer, or they would also be able to stream it from home and watch a family movie or have people over or whatever. So they can watch it from home or go in person with that option, and then have the baskets with the same movie night options, popcorn, candy, boxes of candy, stuff like that. He's looking into options of whether or not we're going to have the opportunity to stuff the baskets or not. So more to come on that. Thank you. Appreciate it. And then you were also here early this morning setting up our sound system. So Peter, you mentioned our sound system. We tried something new last week, and then again this week talked about it. With COVID, we're hoping to keep virtual attendees as an option. So, and having that ongoing. So we're going to be in person and have this Zoom setup moving forward. So with that, we want reliable audio, reliable video, and everything like that. Lisa always provides our webcam. And then Brandon has come up with a system here that I think has been working pretty well. We have a much better mic in the middle of the room to hear. I think one thing to just let everyone know, if you do have something to say or you're going to be speaking, you're welcome to take your mask down and speak loudly so everyone online is able to hear. I think in the room is okay, but online sometimes gets muffled, to Peter's point. So, but with that, we have, I don't know if we've officially purchased yet, but we're going to be purchasing the equipment that you see here in the room today. So we got a really good deal on that. And then we're also going to be looking into a new laptop for the club. This setup and the laptop as a whole is kind of dated. I think we've had it, what, 7 years, you said, Brandon? So we're going to be replacing the laptop, which is more compatible and hopefully will help out with some of our technical issues. So be looking at that for that coming forward, but just keep that in mind when you are speaking. If you're in the room, take down your mask and just make sure to speak up just a little bit. So unless you already talk loud, and then you don't have to speak up. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Let's see, with that, Joy, I want to make sure you have plenty of time. So we'll cover a few things after you're finished, but we'd like to welcome you up. Joy Lytle from the Clermont Chamber. Welcome her, please.
And I should speak from this location then so everyone can hear me online. Okay.
You can wander a little bit.
I want to look there, but they're actually there, correct? Okay. All right. I love this virtual world we're in. Isn't it fun? You know, it's our new normal, right? Well, good morning. It's a great day in Clermont County, isn't it? Woohoo! Thank you so much for having me, you guys. I'm Joy Lytle with the Clermont Chamber of Commerce. And if you could switch to the next slide, I don't have a clicker.
Yeah, just say next.
No, okay, perfect. So everyone recognizes the mug right here on the left side, right? That's Matt Van Sant. Spoke to him yesterday. He is living his best life right now in South Florida. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? He has grandkids in Indianapolis, and he's given 15 years of his life to the Clermont Chamber. More than that, to the county. He deserves his time. He's happy. He's still connected. I think Matt will always be a part of Clermont County for the rest of his life. But he reached out to me last summer and said, "Hey, Joy, I'm looking to hang it up, and I need a successor. Do you know anybody?" And it was one of those conversations that I had to really think about, because for me professionally, is this something that I want to take on? And the more I thought about it, you know, I've worked in the nonprofit, for-profit, and government sectors throughout my career over the past 25 years. The majority of my time was spent at the Cincinnati Business Courier for 11 years. I moved to Raleigh, North Carolina for my husband's job, and I worked for the town of Garner, North Carolina, which was fun working for a government, that Parks and Recreation. And then I've also worked at Camp Joy in Clarksville, Ohio here. And most recently we spent some time at Schaefer, a structural engineering firm downtown, the best structural engineering firm ever. I love them. And so when Matt and I talked, it was more of a calling of, I live in Union Township. I have a house and a dog and 2 kids and a husband in Union Township. And this is my community and I want it better. So I decided to go ahead and do it. And I got to spend a good 9 months with Matt. And he was just an amazing mentor. He will always be a mentor to me. And as he's been just a great example to Clermont County. So if you want to flip to the next slide for me, please. So I want you to meet our team. Most of you already know them probably, but I would like to start with the bottom. Sophie Charlton, she's our program and membership coordinator. She's been at the chamber for about 2.5 years. So she's in charge of a lot of our events and programming. So if you want to register for an event, or if you're calling with questions about our website, anything registration wise, event wise, Sophie's our girl. She's kind of new to the event planning role. So we're working with her on educating her. It's makes it more fun when you're in a COVID environment and trying to do things virtually too. So it's been more fun. And then Rebecca Grice, many of you probably don't see her very often. She hides behind her monitors in the office and she handles all of our operations and finance and all the membership dues and sponsorship revenue and things like that that come in. Amy Limbacher, she's our part-timer. So we have, a half person. She's there for 20 hours a week, answers the phone and helps Rebecca just with some different things with the accounting side of things. But Amy's been around for a while. I think Rebecca's been there for about 12 years now. And then top left, it's me. And then raise your hand if you do not know Heather Fry. Please tell, because if there's someone in this room does not know Heather Fry or on the screen, you need to let me know because I got to introduce you. She's our everything, right? She's a great personality. We love having her. She's a director of development. So she's out there drumming up membership and also helping engage our members constantly and making sure everyone's connected. And she does an excellent job. And she's been around, I think, 7 years or so at this point. So Heather is a great asset to the team. And she is quite the personality. She will never leave you in a room without knowing someone else before you leave. And then Allie Cottrell, Allie handles all of our marketing. And she is just a gem. We love the work she's putting out. She just, I don't know if you saw the email yesterday about our membership drive. It's just, she does excellent work. She handles our newsletter every week. We've been doing the virtual ribbon cuttings via Facebook Live. So she's recording those and she handles a lot of that work. So we love Allie. She's been there about 2.5 years as well. And then there's a face up there on the far right-hand corner, Andrew McAfee. Does anybody know Andrew? Harry does. Anyone else? What's that? Oh, you did, absolutely. So Andrew is a new addition to our team and he hasn't started yet. He starts January 4th, 2021 as our new Director of Government Affairs. And I am beyond excited to bring him on board. For those of you that don't know Andrew, he has been spending the past 5 years of his life working with the Brad Winstrip campaign. He knows Clermont County politics better than anybody I know. Anyway, Harry, would you agree to that? He's a gem. I'm surprised he's staying in Clermont County. I'm surprised he's not moving to DC and doing some magic work down there. But he knows folks on the local, state, and federal level. And he is going to be a game changer for the future of the Clermont Chamber and the resources we're going to be able to provide to our membership. So excited to have him on board. So Andrew is, he is gold. I cannot wait for you all to meet him, hopefully face to face instead of virtually, but we'll see. So if you wouldn't mind switching to the next slide.
State Senator Terry Johnson and Adam Byrd recently helped them in their.
And I think he just turned 30. Yeah, he's going to be around for a while. I I feel so blessed to have him join our team. He just turned 30. I mean, he's a gem.
I do.
So I would have to give you a little history lesson for those of you who don't know. The chamber just celebrated, I can't say, okay. So The chamber just celebrated 50 years, you guys. 1969 we were formed. We had a great big party in last December. We were able to celebrate face to face, and we've done a lot of great things. I think I will be the 5th official chamber president. I am the 5th official chamber president, the first ever female. So it's really exciting. And a lot of people say, what is a chamber? So this is the old Matt Van Sant. If you ever heard him talk about the chamber, as long as commerce has existed, traders have banded together for the common protection against enemies, to govern the conduct of trade, and to later exert influence on legislation. And he always had like this banded together thing that he did. And it's what we do, you know, it's what we've done. You know, we work together to make our community better. So if you don't flip to the next slide for me. So at the current day, I like to say this is our mission. You know, here's what we get out of bed every day: to make Clermont County the preferred place to locate, operate, and grow a thriving business. That's what we do. And we can't do it without our members. We can't do it without volunteers. You know, you saw the size of our staff. We are small but mighty, but we rely on a lot of folks, you know, in the community to really make things happen and to fulfill the mission. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of great things going on right now in the county. And I believe we are on the cusp of a really amazing economic boom. Harry, we talked about this yesterday, and this is a good time to be here. It's a good time to live here. It's a good time to work here, and it's a good time to play here. So if you want to switch to the next slide for me. So this is a recap of 2020. And believe it or not, I look at the calendar, I'm like, it's the middle of October. We're recapping the year already. It's been quite the year, hasn't it? I think for all of us. COVID, we hit the ground running, had a great annual meeting in person, face to face. We had these awesome plans laid out for the year. And then March hits and everything just kind of went on its side. And we're like, what do we do? What do we do? And so, you know, the chamber was really quick. I'm really proud of us. We were really quick to respond to the COVID situation, or whatever we want to call it. I'm proud to say we didn't cancel anything. We didn't cancel one program. We just had to, I'll use the words everyone hates now: pivot, adjust, and be agile and fluid. Those are the words I keep, the buzzword. I don't know if you all have heard those words constantly. And I have. But Stuart Greenlee, raise your hands if you know Stuart Greenlee. Okay, so Stuart is our board chair. And I have to tell you, this is kind of funny. So last time I saw Stuart, aside from 2 weeks ago, was in February. And Stuart's, he has a suit on, clean cut, you know, shave it. I saw him 2 weeks ago. We had to meet one of our potential members, and he had on a polo shirt, jeans, he had a full beard. And I just said, oh my God, Stuart, you're so much taller than I remember, because I'm just used to seeing him, you know, via the TV like we've been. But if you got, I mean, to see people face to face now is just crazy. So I saw Stuart, and so he's been just an amazing board chair. The last thing you want to do is a chairman of board when you have a leadership transition in the middle of a global pandemic, quite honestly. It's not the place you want to be. You want to be on the board, but not the one in charge of it. So Stuart and our vice chair, Jeff Bauer, had they just really, you know, Harry, I know you're on our board, Mary Jane, you're on our board. We had a really good year, all things considered. You know, we went through some rebranding in 2019. We've been rolling that out this year. You notice our new logo. We worked with the CVB, the Connect Clermont, and the Park Districts, and hopeful that Clermont County will also adopt some of the pinpoint branding, the verbiage. So that's been an exciting change for us. Well overdue. 50 years, you kind of need a new logo. We had a strategic planning session this spring with our board of directors, and we came up with 6 new board-led committees. So the board is much more engaged. Not that they weren't before, but they really have an opportunity to have a voice and speak up. So the committees, executive committee, board of advisors, government affairs, finance, events and programming membership. So all of those have board representation on now as more as an advisory role to help guide us and make sure we're heading in the right direction. So we have, I have to say, the best board of directors ever. And to have their voices heard throughout these discussions has been just absolutely amazing. It's been a blessing. One of the things we're doing starting next week is a membership drive. So again, the marketing that just went out yesterday, you'll start seeing it trickling through our social media. But if you are not a chamber member, you need to talk to me or Heather Fry, and we will make sure that we can get that taken care of for you. Or if you know of someone who should be a member, let us know. You know, right now more than ever, we need to belong and gather in whatever capacity we can, but we need each other. We need to help each other and support each other. One of the things that we're promoting as well, for what it's worth, if you are a member and you know of someone who wants to be a member but really can't afford it right now, you're welcome to gift a membership. That's okay. If there's someone that could really use that membership, use those connections, that network, let us know, and we'll be happy to apply that gift to that person or that company you designate. Also have a foundation. Our foundation runs things like our law enforcement banquet, which is near and dear to my heart, as well as Salute to Leaders, our leadership academy. Our foundations, it's a young foundation. So it just started around, I think, 2011. And so when I came on board last year, we have a foundation. Well, that's great, but what's our mission? What's our vision? What's our purpose of the foundation? And none of that was really defined. And so if someone calls us and says, hey, will your foundation help us plant 5,000 trees in the meeting of 32? I mean, how do we say, no, this is not what we're supposed to be doing here? So now we sat down and had a board strategic planning session with our foundation. And so our new mission, it's up there, it's kind of small, but it's to champion the educational, economic development, and community service initiatives of the Clermont Chamber of Commerce. And it has one sentence, but if you've ever been through strategic planning, that took a long time to come up with, because the foundation encompasses so many areas that are really important to our county. Work readiness is another initiative, obviously, that I'll talk about in just a minute. And then in the other strategic planning session, we did a survey to our members this past spring. You know, what are the top 3 reasons you're a chamber member? Why are you a member? Top 3: networking, strong business climate, economic development, and advocacy for business. Do you know the same question was asked 10 years ago to our membership? Same top 3 answers. And that tells you that we are strong, and we are in a great place moving forward. So this is kind of a recap of this year. I know we still have a couple months left to go. We've done some F2F face-to-face events, or we've created the hybrid with Salute to Leaders. Law enforcement, we had all the officers in the room, but no one from the outside could come in. So we've been adjusting, and we plan on doing that again through the rest of this year in hopes that we can be in more of a face-to-face capacity in 2021. But as you all know, every day the news, it does this. So, you know, we're just going with the flow, figuring it out. Next slide, please. So I talk about looking forward, and I love to look forward in always hopes of the greatest things to happen in Clermont County, for sure. Jeff Bauer, Dean Bauer of UC Clermont, is going to be our board chair. Raise your hand if you know Dean Bauer. Okay, the best guy. I'm going from Stuart to Jeff, and I couldn't be happier. He's just a great asset to our organization, and he's already made such a significant impact. And so he's going to be our new board chair. And then I already talked about our government affairs guy, Andrew McAfee, and we'll have to come back. Sheila will have to come back when he's officially on board, and he can tell you all about the things he has planned. And it's going to be so many great things. We did a revised board of advisors group. So if you are a board of advisors member, you're one of the top folks in Clermont County. You're an investor in the community. So we create programming and opportunities for you to have more of an intimate opportunity to really connect with folks and talk about issues. We're bringing in the state treasurer next week for a very small gathering and to really ask bigger questions. So our board of advisors has been redone. And then I don't know if any of you were able to attend our diversity, equity, and inclusion event in June. It was done via Zoom. And we brought in Robin Shabazz. She led a panel discussion and talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And this is on the timing was uncanny. It was during the June civil unrest with all the things going on around our country. And so when we finished that discussion, it was a lot of hard conversations, a lot of uncomfortable discussions. And I tell you, the one good thing about Zoom is you can chat a question without having to ask it. So I think it allowed people the chance to say things they probably wouldn't have said in a group setting like this. And so we all attended it in our offices with our doors closed. And then when it was over, we walked out, and I think we all just like stopped for a second, and it was just really powerful. And then what do you do with that information? You know, you're in there, you hear this stuff, and you're like, well, how can we make a difference? How can we, apply this to our businesses and to our organizations? And so a member came to us shortly after that, and he said, you can't stop the conversation, Chamber of Commerce. You guys have got to keep this going. And so we heard him, and we're like, you're right. We can't just do this once a year. And so now we've created an ongoing DEI conversation, more like a round table. Let's talk, and let's be real about this. How do we move forward in this environment, in this world we're in? And so that's an initiative we're already rolling that out now, but it's going to continue in 2021. As well as our HR and our Women in Leadership initiatives. So those are the ongoing piece of it is what I really like about it. So it's not just one and done, and then you're moving on to the next thing and the next thing, and we're keeping the conversations moving. One thing that I don't have on here, but has come to light recently, with the pandemic, businesses are suffering in all different kinds of ways, and so are their employees. And people themselves are suffering from a lot of mental illness right now. And it's just going to continue to trend in the wrong direction as we head into the winter months. People are going to be more isolated in their homes. They're not going to go out to outside restaurants. They're not going to be comfortable. So we are going to be working on creating a mental health type of roundtable moving forward. And just to give that platform for people to really have open discussions and deal with what's happening. And we are all in that. You think we're dealing with the shock of the pandemic, and then how do we fix it? We can't, and so how do we, keep ourselves safe and still move forward? And there's a lot of uncertainty going on right now, and it's not something to dismiss, especially with your staff and the people that work for you, work with you, work alongside of you. And so we definitely want to address that issue as well, and we will be. Increased economic development and commercial real estate presence. So my time at Schaefer, a structural engineering firm, I really got to understand the AEC world, architect, engineering, construction, developer world. And as I said before, we are on the cusp of to me, an economic boom here in Clermont County. There are a lot of projects going on. Some of you may know about. There's just a lot of movement. And we recently met with Corey Wright with Union Township. I live in Union Township, and he rattled off a handful of I think 5 or 6 projects. And I just said, I didn't know this was happening. How did I not? I live here. And it got us all thinking about Clermont County specifically. And I don't know, raise your hand if you've attended our economic forecast breakfast with Brian Bolio. It's a powerhouse. And so we bring in ITR economics, and they talk about global economics. So here's a global perspective. They'll bring it into the national perspective, pull it down to Ohio, touch on Cincinnati, and just a little bit, just a smidge time spent on Clermont County. And that's an amazing program. We will bring them back again in 2021. And that's not going to change. But what we were talking about doing, and what we are going to be doing in the fall of 2021, is having a commercial real estate economic development forum for Clermont County. And what that would entail is bringing in the new economic development director, Michael McNamara. I don't know if you've had a chance to meet him. Amazing guy. He replaced Andy Kukta at the county, and he's cool, and he understands where we are right now. And so our idea would be to have him, give an overview of what's happening on a countywide level, and then bringing in all the different townships and the cities to really talk about what's happening on Clermont County. We have a big county, you guys. There's a lot of corners and a lot of good things going on. But then inviting the guest list would be obviously folks in our county, but folks from outside the county in the region. It come in and make connections and start meeting folks in that industry. So when they want to come out here and do work, they can start, I know that's that it's Jeff Wright with Miami Township. And so, so to really be able to have those connections and start that relationship development. So that's going to be another big thing we're going to be doing in 2021. So excited. I'm beyond excited about that one. And then as well as numerous volunteer opportunities. So work readiness is part of our foundation. And I don't know if I keep asking this participation, but raise your hand if you've done any speed mentoring or one-to-one mentoring with okay, good. So a couple of you guys have, and it's fun. Did you do speed mentoring?
Yeah, I did the one where we went to the classroom and talked to the students.
Okay, so you did more of the yeah, so it's just more of a talking about what you do and just sharing your career history with the students. And there's a lot of different areas of our work readiness initiative. So things like going to the schools and talking to the students in the classroom about what you do, sharing that career advice and guidance, as well as speed mentoring. We're in a room, I think last spring before COVID, we had over 350 kids at the Oasis from Loveland High School. And I think we had 50 mentors, people like you that spent like 2 hours just rotating kids, talking about your job, what you do, helping give these kids an idea of ideas of things that they could do as careers when they move forward. Typically juniors and seniors participate. And then there's one-to-one mentoring. It's where you're paired up with a student for about 8 to 9 months. And you spend about an hour a month or more with that student. And they're handpicked by the schools. Basically, here's a couple students that need a mentor, because not everybody has a mom and a dad in a nice, warm, cozy home. They don't. And some of them don't really have anyone to influence and guide them. And so you could be that one person to really change their lives. And so as school reopened, the businesses are all watching the schools. We're watching the schools. Okay, Harry, what's happening? What's going on to the schools? Jeff Weird, how's it going? And the schools are doing well, you guys. I have a 16-year-old and he is going to school every single day. And it is a great feeling to see my kid there. And so we're watching this, and then we kind of let them settle. And then here work readiness is reaching back out saying, okay, guys, we want to jump back in. These kids are graduating, whether we're there or not. Absolutely, they are. And so we started our one-to-one mentoring, and we can do it like this. So you can mentor your student via your computer screen. It actually makes it a little easier, quite honestly. You don't have to get in the car and drive to the school. But we are starting that back up. Right now, we have over 80 mentors. Right now. Are you one of them?
Yeah, actually, my girl just texted me and said, "Can we meet today?" I've been a mentor for a long time, even when it was under Clermont 2020. It's a great thing.
And it's needed now more than ever, isn't it, Lisa? Like it's so needed. And so we just kicked that off. We're in 10 schools right now, you guys, right now. Global pandemic be damned. We are helping these kids. We need to. They need us. They need us. And so that's just one of many volunteer opportunities that we have. Keep an eye out for an email that's going to be coming out probably in November, asking you for, participation. Where do you want to volunteer and give back? And if you have the time, of course, where do you want to give back, and where can we insert you in the chamber's world of volunteerism? You saw the size of our staff. We don't have the capacity to do all these programs, to do all these initiatives without you. We need you. We need your help. And you all, I'm sure we've asked probably every single one of you to help in some capacity, but we're still looking for that moving forward. So please keep in mind all of the amazing volunteer opportunities that we have at the chamber, because we do need you. We always will need you as we move forward. And thank you, Lisa, for volunteering with us. We're really excited. And honestly, I know we still need some more one-to-one mentors. So if your hearts are pulled a little bit, let me know. I'll be happy to get you connected and get things moving along. Ultimately, the chamber seeks to be a strong voice in the business community with participation from all employers and all employees. So, we are in a good place. We are strong right now. There is a pandemic, but we're kind of keeping that here. We know it's here. We haven't ignored it, but we're focusing on the future. And that's pretty much it, you guys. And thank you for your time today. It was good to meet so many of you. I know some familiar faces, but some I don't. So it's good to spend the morning with you. I don't know if you all have any questions for me. I threw a lot at you. I am a morning person. Yes, sir.
One question, just a comment. I really enjoy your enthusiasm. And if you're this enthusiastic at 7:30 in the morning, what do you like at noon?
Well, I definitely annoy people in the morning if they are give me my 10 cups of coffee and then talk to me. I know I annoy them. I typically get up and run in the mornings and, get the day started.
Okay, this is Vic here. I was wondering if we could get a copy. I would love to have a copy of that PowerPoint presentation. I'd like to kind of go through those slides. Is it possible?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, and also I'd like to write to you. Do you have your email?
Yes, sir. It's joy.lytle, Lytle, @ ClermontChamber.com.
Joy.Lytle, Lytle, at Clermont.com.
ClermontChamber.com.
It was on the last slide, Vic.
Okay, okay. Very good. Well, I mean, that was a fantastic presentation. I really appreciated that.
Oh, thank you very much. You could, feel free to email me, you guys, if you have any questions or need any help. One of the things that we do at the chamber as well with businesses as they move into the county, or even if they've been here for a while, if they need help, if they're having some issues with Duke Energy, or if they need to get in touch with, you know, the health department, or having trouble with a liquor license, reach out to us. Our job is to be a conduit and to really connect businesses with you know, elected officials and folks that really get things done. So you're not waiting around. We are fast track too. That's one of the, you know, member benefits, is to really have inside access to things when you need them, for sure.
Just another question. Do you have, I know it's basically geared towards businesses, but what about churches? How are you connected?
We're connected to all different types of organizations. We partner with lots of nonprofits, churches. They're members of ours. And,
Okay.
you know, we work closely with, you know, with you guys, with Crossroads, several different organizations in the community, especially on that volunteer level. But, you know, throughout all the programming we do, it's not specifically solely directed to just business owners. Things that we're talking about affect everyone. You know, they affect most everyone in our community.
Okay.
And this is Matt Hickman with just a comment. You mentioned DEI, and that's been a big topic within Rotary, and they want to make sure that our clubs match our surrounding community and have the inclusion, the diversity, and so forth. And I would say in the last 6 months, I've been through 3 sessions at the Rotary International level on DEI. So we might even have some opportunities, I would guess, to see what's happening in Clermont County with that, maybe even expand our club a little bit.
Yeah, the conversation's not going away. It's not going away, and it shouldn't. Quite honestly, it shouldn't. And the one thing I will say about Clermont County is that we have a lot of diversity in our county. If you look from west to east, and it's not necessarily what you see on the outside. You know, we have a lot of folks, a lot of kids that are suffering right now in the far east sides of our county. We have a lot of folks that are diverse in so many different ways, and it's identifying them, but it's not just by looking at you and saying, hey, you're different than I am. There's so much more than that. And I think it's what we need to focus on in Clermont County is talking about those types of diversity issues as well as the bigger picture and being inclusive. Yeah, it is a conversation that will continue to grow, and it should, and it's important. It's important to us as we expand and grow. Thank you.
Awesome.
Anyone else?
We do have a parting gift for you. We see you drink coffee, so
Oh, thank you guys.
thank you so much for coming out this morning and presenting to us. You did mention togetherness and people needing a place to get together. You are a morning person. It's 7:30, it's not too early. We would like to support.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And someone said 7 o'clock.
Somebody give her an application.
Yeah, we used to be 7.
Oh, no way.
We
No
just
way.
at the beginning of the pandemic switched to 7:30. So, yeah, big change for us here on TV. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Troy. That was awesome. I know Matt's been a great supporter of Batavia Rotary and has been here a few times. So thanks for coming out. And we'll definitely have you back again. So
Thank you.
You know, and I was gonna say, so we do have, is it Michael?
Mhm.
He's actually our presenter in November, so.
oh, great.
Oh, you guys will love him. He is awesome. He has good vision for the county, and it's exciting.
Great. Thank you. All right. Got about 7 minutes left. I want to make sure we have time for Happy Bucks. So I'm going to go ahead and start us off. I'm going to be missing next meeting. My wife and I are having our first baby on, well, Sunday is the plan. So we are very excited about that. If my wife makes it that long, we're going to the hospital on Sunday for hopefully a 9 p.m. induction. So everyone's doing great. My wife still has energy and is mostly sleeping well except for last night. So if I was off this morning, that's why. It's her fault. I won't tell her that. All right, who else is happy?
Well, we'll miss you next week. I understand the speaker isn't very good, so you're not really missing that much.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for us having a great speaker.
Thank you. Jennifer.
Congratulations on your upcoming baby. I had a nice vacation in Virginia Beach, not Cancun, but Virginia Beach, still nice. And thanks, Joy, for coming today.
Thank you. Thanks to Joy, and I predict you'll be a great dad.
Well, thank you. Alan.
Great speaker. Thank you.
Oh, man. You better sleep now.
I had to scoot out last meeting for the students of the month. Joy, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Eric. Joy. Thank you. Mary Jane, welcome back.
Thank you. This is for Gamma.
Yeah.
This is for Delta. And this is for our airlines. If you have not flown during this pandemic, I'm telling you, I was the safest and the best thing I've ever done. Sorry it wasn't Delta there, Alan.
In the cheap seats, huh?
Yeah, Southwest, and it was fabulous. I encourage you to fly and don't be afraid. This is for Batavia High School Band. They had a great season, and we want to thank the school for all the things they got to do. And this is for Joy. And I'm happy to be back.
Thank you, thank you. I'll leave that there with you.
And then we can turn it over to our faces on the screen here. Anybody on the screen happy? Mac.
I don't know, the pandemic comes along and we're doing things like this virtual meeting, and I know we all wish this virus would go away. And I'm supposed to go to Washington, D.C. in February for a get together of Rotarians there and from across the nation. And the good news for me is that just on Sunday, they said, hey, this is canceled. You're not coming to Washington, but we're going to do it virtually. And that made me happy because I don't think it's going to be gone by February.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else? Vic. Got to unmute yourself. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say that it's just really great to see the family, to see the Rotary family, and I'd like to contribute. I'll contribute through PayPal.
Thank you. All right, perfect. Oh, I've skipped over birthdays and anniversaries. So Mike Chapman on the 31st, he's on. Excellent. On the 31st, I believe is your birthday. Is that right? So I think we'll miss that coming up. Do you want to be sung to today?
You know, that would be delightful.
All right. All right. Well, yeah, Peter, since you're both virtual, Peter, if you want to take it away, we'd love to hear your voice.
And so it's your birthday, or so we've been told. And though you seem ageless, you're another year old. On a cake there'll be candles all lighted for you. And everyone is singing, Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everyone.
Happy birthday, Michael. Aaron Nicoletti is celebrating wedding anniversary. How many years with Kim?
24, I think.
24. Congrats. Congrats. And then a few Rotary anniversaries. Jeff Boggs, 6 years. Len, a massive 34 years. Congrats. And then Mike Essig is, I think, at 9 years. Who's on virtually. So congratulations, all you guys, and everything you do for us. Oh, Mike too, yeah. All right, I think that wraps up. Just a few reminders. 2 weeks from today, we have Student of the Month here in person. Golden Rule Catering is going to be here. So please come out and support that. Peter is actually going to be doing a presentation after Student of the Month on the foundation, and he's going to be here in person. So it'll be nice to see him. And 2 weeks after that is Mr. McNamara. So we're looking forward to both of those. Friday, please support the Polio Foundation or Polio World Polio Day and our club's donation to that at City Barbecue in Eastgate all day. If you have any questions, let Nicole or I know, and we can get you that flyer. She's going to have everything included. So anything else for the good of the order from anyone? All right, excellent. If not, we'll finish off with a four-way test.
Move the chair.
Of the things we think, say, or do.
First is the truth. Second is fair to all concerned. Third will build better friendships. Fourth will be beneficial to all concerned.